Hey, good morning, folks. It's 8 a.m. here on the East Coast, 41 degrees here in LJ, Georgia. I'm your host, BKP. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. I just realized I forgot my glasses. I just looked on the table. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to drive this ship just with minimal vision. But there's some things I can see without glasses. I can see when the media is manipulating a story, running a narrative, calming things down because they don't want us upset, the people, because they think they run our lives. Okay, a couple things this morning. First, let's tell people how to get in touch with our show. Right there it is on the screen. Josh has it up there, and that's our phone number, email address, and all the ways you can follow us on social media. Now, before we get into what I want to talk about, all right, because I want to put this out on the World Wide Web, and hopefully I will not get cut off. I will not get hung up on. I will not get flagged. But yes, Bernie Sanders held a town hall, all right? So let me just tell you what we're going to be doing this morning, all right? Bernie Sanders, number 16, Fox News provided him 1 hour of free campaign time last night because he's only made $1 million 2 years in a row, I guess, and $563,000 last year. And yes, Bernie's a multimillionaire, and he's figuring out how to tell you it was okay to write a book, and then it was okay that you purchased the book and he made the money, but he doesn't accept that as capitalism. So he just can't bring himself to say that. But anyhow, a town hall last night. Where? Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Why? Because Northampton County, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Northampton County, last night, in 2016, President Trump flipped that by 9 points. Okay? That county has gone blue for several presidential elections, several. And Trump flipped that county. Now, that is Pennsylvania, right there where Bernie Sanders is, held the town hall, is where Democrats need to flip counties like Northampton back into the blue to win Pennsylvania. And we're going to talk to, at 8:30 this morning, we're going to talk to the chairman of the Republican Party of Northampton County, that attended. Now, she did not go in last night to this town hall, but they held a Trump rally. And we're going to talk about not just winning Pennsylvania, but now how to win again, how to hold off the Democrats in that area. So that's going to be at 8:30 this morning. Don't miss it. My interview with Chairman, Northampton County Republican Party Chairman Lee Snover. Okay, so let's go here, Josh, and this is obviously just tragedy. Tragedy has struck, and let's go to number 3. Notre Dame burnt yesterday as the world watched. Notre Dame burnt yesterday as TV anchors were called in just to talk. You know, when these kind of things happen, they just put some people at the table, and you know, it's like watching a fire. We're not going to, you know, you're watching a fire, you're just talking. So they bring these people in. All the networks were live all afternoon. Okay. Now I will predict that this thing's still hot. Oh yeah, I'll predict. It's not even been 24 hours since Notre Dame has been set ablaze, okay? 850-year-old structure on Holy Week. Well, first of all, I don't want to get into listening to all of the people that are discussing Holy Week. It just disgusts me, all right? I'm not going to get into it. I mean, I can't take these people. They're on here talking about Holy Week and Good Friday, and it's just the wrong people telling me about Holy Week. And just watching so many people put their faith in a building is one thing. But here's what I want to look at. I don't have a lot of experience with arson, but I know some people that are involved with arson investigations, arson departments, even here in Georgia. It takes a little while before they could tell you that the plug on the toaster is what started the fire. And I'm not saying anything joking this morning, but I do think that we need a little more time. If you look at this, Notre Dame fire believed to be linked to major renovation project. Okay? If you will look, let me go with, I want to go with this one. Hold on just a second, Josh. Well, I had the another one, but they're already saying and determined that this is not arson. It's already being considered by the French officials as an accident. And it's not an act of terror. Now, how are they doing this within a 24-hour time? How can Macron come out and start, we will rebuild? How can the deep state worldwide media start selling us a narrative within 24 hours? Hey, when they come back, okay? When they come back 3 months from now, 2 months from now, as they sift through the debris, and they put out a report, and the report says, hey, it was not an act of terrorism, and it was not arson. We can't find arson here, or anybody that's done this on purpose, that it was just pure accident, then that could be a little different. I mean, a plane crash even takes, 10 days, 2 weeks, and sometimes a while to find the black box and find out what happened to the plane. But within 24 hours, the French government, with the world, has already got donations to rebuild. Okay, that's first thing to set the narrative, donations to rebuild. They've already announced publicly that this is not arson, this is not terrorism, this is an accident. How can they determine this an accident within 24 hours? And Macron standing up saying, we will rebuild. Why? Maybe this right here? Breitbart. There's a website called Jihad Watch, okay? It's called Jihad Watch, whether you want to accept it or not. And it keeps an eye on these things. Macron's France, this is from Breitbart, this article from Breitbart on March 30th, just a couple weeks ago, okay? Macron's France, an average of 3 church attacks per day. French churches are coming increasingly under attack with an average of nearly 3 churches per day targeted for vandalism over the past 3 years. A report from the Central Crime Intelligence Service of the, I had that up here just a minute, let me do that again. Gendarmerie, okay, noted that from 2016 to 2018, there has been thousands of cases of church vandalism, peaking in 2017 with 1,045 cases. According to the French Minister of Interior, when cemeteries and other sites are taken into consideration, the number of acts of violent vandalism rose to 1,063 in 2018. Earlier this year, in 1 week alone, French saw 12 churches vandalized, including attacks attempting to set fire to Church of the Saint whatever in Paris. Interesting. But they pushed all of this aside. Every bit of this they pushed aside. Within 24 hours of this tragedy of a church, already said an accident. Now listen really close. Fox News yesterday. Let's go to the video of Neil Cavuto. You got that one? Can you give me that one? Yeah. Yeah. Ready? Watch this one, folks.
Who has been meeting with fire officials, wants to get to the bottom of not only what happened, but how it started. We also have gotten a statement out of the Vatican. Keep in mind, this is technically a Catholic church. The Vatican saying that the Holy See, that refers to the Pope, has seen the shock and sadness of the news of the terrible fire that has devastated the Cathedral of Notre Dame, a symbol of Christianity in France and the world. The statement goes on to say that the Vatican is praying for firefighters and those who are doing everything possible to confront this dramatic situation. It also, referring to the Vatican, expressed our closeness to French Catholics and the population of Paris, and we assure our prayers for firefighters. We expect to hear from the U.S. Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who St. Patrick's Cathedral within his diocese, of course, pays homage to Notre Dame. He will be talking about a common bond between the people of this country, not only just Catholics, but of this country, period, and to the French people as well, mourning a huge loss of cultural and emotional significance. Catholic League President Bill Donahue joins me right now on the phone. Bill, we don't know what started this. We do know the repercussions and what has been left as a result of this. Ruins, and ruins that could take some time to fix and make right, and you never can make it as it was.
Well, Neil, if it is an accident, it's a monumental tragedy. But forgive me for being suspicious. Just last month, a 17th century church was set on fire in Paris. We've seen tabernacles knocked down. Crosses have been torn down. Statues have been smashed.
We don't know that. We don't know. So if we can avoid what your suspicions might be, I do want to look at what happens now. There was a very pricey rebuilding and renovation effort going on that involved a good deal of Catholic fundraising campaigns. I know in this country and abroad, this renovation was paid for up front. So in other words, all the monies were there. And now I'm wondering how much more the Catholic Church commits to this, or do you think now they first want to get to the bottom of it?
Well, first they have to get to the bottom of it, and they will rebuild it. There's no question about that. And certainly the Catholic Church will come up with the money for it. That's not even a question. But I'm sorry. I mean, when I find out that the Eucharist is being destroyed and excrement is being smeared on crosses,
wait a minute,
this
Bill,
is going on now.
Bill, I love you, Bill, but we cannot make conjectures about this. So thank you very much. Bill, I'm sorry. Thank you very, very much. I do want to let people know, and again, we're not trying to be rude to our guests here. There is so much we do not know about what happened here. We do know that about 4 hours ago, something started here. Now, there are incidents that have been raised against the Catholic Church, a lot of popular tourist sites, certainly in and around Paris, no stranger to attacks, but it is another leap to start taking views like that when we don't know. Trace Gallagher, of course, you know this institution, you know what it means, not only to the people of Paris, but I would think in general that Europe, one of the top 10 attractions for all tourists, all over the world, and now
Conjecture. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Bill Donahue, the Catholic League president, okay? He's the president of the Catholic League. Bill Donahue got hung up on. 17th century church. As soon as he said, let's see, okay, attacks attempting to set fire just last month, Neil, Now, I am not drawing any conclusion because I think in March, over 800-year-old Basilia of St. Denis, right, in the now heavily migrated populated suburbs of Paris was also vandalized, with the Basilia's organ being heavily damaged and stained glass windows were broken. So you think an 800-year-old, that the vandalism just last month, that an 850-year-old Notre Dame they wouldn't set fire. Just say it, okay? I'm telling you right now, I do not know if it's arson. I do not know if it's any kind of vandalism. I do not know if it's a terrorist attack by radicalized Muslims, okay, that Paris has. This is something, I say this is something the world will never know the true answer. There's something wrong that they came out. Firefighters still have hoses, okay? They still have hoses. The firefighters from the top, the cranes that go up with water cannons, they still have water shooting in from the top. They've not extinguished this fire. But yet, the media has determined there's nothing fishy here. Nothing to look at, folks. Our arson investigation is done. It's already been determined, is the words they've been using, that this was an accident. And they've already moved with the smoke still in the air to Macron coming out and saying, we will rebuild. Wow. Interesting. Macron does not want to come out and talk about the church vandalism in Paris. Macron does not want to talk about what's happened in France and how many Muslims they've let in France that absolutely hate Christians. I'm telling you, they do not. The media does not want it exposed of what's happening in France, and Macron does not need it right now. Let's go to another hang-up. Do you have the second one? Fox News was hanging up on people yesterday. You got the second hang-up? Yeah, go ahead. Let's play the second one of the day.
Felipe Carcente is on the line with us, a French elected official who is in Paris now. Felipe, what have you seen and what do you know?
Well, I was close to the scene when it happened, and no, I left the place because we want to let people work around it. Everybody's really under shock now in France. I would tell you something. It's even if nobody died. I mean, it's like a 9/11. It's a French 9/11, you know. And it's a big shock. I mean, this church was there for more than 850 years. Even the Nazis didn't dare to destroy it. And you need to know that for the past years, we had churches desecrated each and every week in France, all over France. So, of course, you will hear the story about the political correctness, which will tell you that it's probably an accident.
Sir, we're not going to speculate here of the cause of something which we don't know. If you have observations or you know something, we would love to hear it.
No, I'm just telling you something. What you need to be ready.
No, sir, we're not doing that here. Not now.
Okay.
Not on my watch.
Okay.
Felipe Carcente,
Okay.
It's very good of you to be here. We're watching the at least partial destruction of a world icon. Notre Dame Cathedral has been burning for 2.5 hours. The initial...
Now, Felipe Carcente, he's in France. He's a French elected official. Let me just say this. Fox, they're all looking. Yesterday, everybody is looking for people to come on. I mean, and I'm not making light of firefighters, but, you know, if they could not get a firefighter or somebody to come on, I mean, They were begging people to come on yesterday. But Felipe, they got Felipe Carcente, okay? Now, Felipe Carcente, a French elected official, he started talking about all of the vandalism of the churches. He's there. He knows the government doesn't want to talk about this. We won't have no speculations here. It's not a speculation, Shepard Smith. What is not a speculation is why the media did not come out yesterday and say Notre Dame is burning. And when Macron and everybody came out, okay, think about it, folks. When Macron and everybody came out and immediately whitewashed any possibility. See, we don't know here. We're not going to speculate. But I'm going to tell you, a good journalist news networks would have come out yesterday and said, wait a minute, how can you, in this short amount of time, how can you determine when 12 hours later that this is an accident? Good journalists would have jumped all over like, how can you come out and say we will rebuild? It's like they all stood around, and I'll go back. You know, it's funny to say I'll go back 20 years and you know, talk about a fax machine, but it's almost like they all stood around the fax machine waiting for the paper to come out that said, here is where we're going with this. It's Holy Week, so we don't want to do anything to fire anything up. It's Holy Week. We don't need any more problems. The French, we got a major problem here with the radicalized Muslims burning down churches, vandalizing churches, breaking the windows. Okay, they hate they hate the church. All right, and they are under attack. We don't need that out. It's Holy Week, okay? We're going to go with, here's what we're going to go with. It's an accident. Boom, it's an accident, all right? Done. Accident. And then we're going to go with, because we got the guy. We got the guy. He's admitting that he accidentally turned on his blowtorch and turned his head for just a second, and when he looked back, his blowtorch burnt through a beam and whatever, okay? But here, and then we're going to go with, we're going to rebuild. Immediately, we're going to sound positive. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get some very wealthy people to pour some money in and say, look, and then we're going to make it all look this way. No, what Shepard Smith should have done yesterday, Neil Cavuto, not speculate. They should at least reported the facts, and then they should be out there as a good news network asking the questions, how can you do this in 12 hours? When will the report be done? Is there going to be an arson investigation? Have they already squashed the investigation? Have they already said no investigation on this? Conjectures, speculation. Will there be an arson investigation, or will this be one of the things in the world that we will never know? But I'll tell you what we do know. We do know that the church is under attack in France, and France is doing everything they can to hide it from the world. So if Notre Dame burnt down because of an accident, it burnt down because of an accident. But I'll tell you what, are they saying there'll be no arson investigation? There'll be no final report of cause? Really? Sell that to somebody else. At Fox News, Neil Cavuto, Shepard Smith, hanging up on Felipe Carcente, the French elected official, right? He said what? You need to be ready. That's when he got cut off. When he said you need to be ready. Bill Donahue, the Catholic League president. Folks, you can buy Notre Dame burnt down because somebody accidentally flicked the cigarette butt and the interior is all wood and it's killed dried for 850 years so it went up like a matchstick. You could buy that if you want. I would like to see the arson investigation. And if it clears, in 3 months to 6 months that there was no arson, okay, fine. It was an accident. But don't try to sell me that in 12 hours on an 850-year-old building where it sits in France, where churches are being attacked every day. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a break. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk to the Northampton County Republican chairman. That's in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where Bernie Sanders held a town hall last night, the Democrat frontrunner. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
Truck Month is back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. America's favorite trucks at the North Georgia Mountain's lowest prices. Now save up to $13,000 off new 2019 Silverado Crew Cabs, or save over $7,800 off new 2019 Chevy Colorado. Nobody's got a bigger truck selection, and nobody's got bigger discounts than Days Chevrolet in Jasper, the North Georgia Mountain's #1 volume Chevy dealer.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
8 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Hey folks, we're back, and on the line with me is the chairman of Northampton County, Pennsylvania, Lee Snover. Now, let me just say this before we get her into the conversation. Last night, you all know that Bernie Sanders held a town hall. Well, Fox News, I call it, held a free hour, campaign hour for Bernie Sanders in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is Northampton County, last night. Lee, how are you this morning?
I'm doing okay.
All right, well, you guys, let me show first, number 23, Josh. You guys assembled a great group yesterday out front there. We've got one of your pictures up there. You said about 130?
Yes, 130 people for Trump, and it was a no socialism rally.
130 people, no socialism rally. Well, let me say this first to you. And
no press coverage. None, not even local, not even a blip.
You
Nothing.
didn't get any press coverage at all?
No, none. No, they wouldn't cover us. In all the local news today, nothing. Just like a one sentence. Trump supporters were there. I think that's what they're going to do in this next campaign, is they're going to totally omit us. We're going to be blocked out. There were no coverage. And it was huge. I mean, it was huge. We have a concrete truck. A brand new concrete truck. It says Make America Great Again. We had 150 people. We were filled with enthusiasm and no coverage. Zero.
Josh, put up number 22. This is the I got on the screen right here, the concrete truck. Whose concrete truck is this?
They're called Kohler Concrete. They're from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and that's a brand new truck they had painted.
So that's Kohler Concrete from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and they had this truck painted "Make America Great Again."
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's really beautiful.
So you had that truck out front, 130. You had a $250,000 truck, 130 people, and another thing I noticed. I want to take my hat off to you because I want to tell the audience this. What is interesting, is the media will run if 10 people have banners up that are waving it, that are socialist Democrats, and they will claim a massive rally or they will claim a protest broke out, even if there's 10 people. Two, go back to the picture of the group, Josh, before we get a little deeper. This is a northeast, all right, Pennsylvania, cold April, wet windy
Freezing.
day. Freezing.
Freezing.
I got it. And none of your supporters there for Trump are paid by George Soros to come out and hold signs.
Right, and we had a 90-year-old woman turn out and stand there for an hour and a half. 90 years old.
Okay,
for
well,
Trump.
Let's talk about that. You got no press conference coverage whatsoever, but they had Bernie Sanders come in. What do you make of Fox News bringing Bernie to Bethlehem, why do you think they picked Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to bring Bernie there?
Because, I tell you what, I don't trust any of the media, including Fox, to be out to make Trump one-term president. And I think that that's the ultimate plan, because Bernie's going to be in other parts of Pennsylvania this week. And I think that they're starting early to make Pennsylvania is going to be the #1 state. Even this morning, I heard the news saying Trump can't win without Pennsylvania. It's the #1 state. And I think that they're going to showcase all the Democrats here. They need to rebuild the Democrats here nationally or on a federal level, because that's where we can win elections. And that's what they're doing. And I'm Fox free. I mean, I'm not saying I won't watch it when the campaign gets heated up, but I don't watch Fox at all, because I've been watching little by little them starting to turn to the left and showcase more and more Democrats in a positive way.
All right, so they picked Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They used the backdrop of Bethlehem Steel to create a narrative there and to create a visual. Did you get?
Yeah, because it's a working man. They want to make it like, well, Bernie Sanders is for the working man, and there's nothing that represents the old working man more than Bethlehem Steel. It's iconic for that. Yeah, and here's what they told the state party. The state party contacted Fox about our rally outside, about getting coverage. And you know, Fox had instructed every single media there, all the other media, not to cover the outside. They said, no, Fox told us that they have their media in control and that they're not to be doing that. So it was pre-planned not to cover anything else but the town hall.
So wait a minute. Okay, all right. Let me get this. And I'm just recapping. When you say the Pennsylvania Republican State Committee contacted Fox News to let them know that they would be supporters outside, just showing their support for Trump and anti-socialism, and Fox said, thanks but no thanks.
Exactly, because here's what they said. It's not a presidential event, it's a Fox event. So we're kind of in control of it, and we don't want the media covering that. So the media that they did allow there, they instructed them to cover, I guess, just certain things, and we were not to be covered.
Okay, so let me ask this, because Fox did open up last night. Before we get into some of the things that Bernie Sanders said, do you know any of the? Did you know any of the participants inside, and did any Republicans go in?
Yes, let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, go there.
Northampton County was blocked out from that. Northampton County was blocked out. The participants any Republican participants were from Lehigh County, which is a blue county. Our neighboring county is a blue county that went for Hillary, and they took the Republicans from there. Any of the Republicans I knew from Northampton did not get in, and we all applied for tickets. No Republicans from Northampton County were showcased. Fox selected everyone from Lehigh County. The Lehigh County chairman was specifically contacted from Fox and got in. Fox contacted him. No one contacted me. No one from Fox, nor anyone on our committee.
Let's recap, folks. Just keep this conversation. We're on the phone with Lee Snover. She is the chairman of Northampton County, Pennsylvania Republican Committee. She applied to get into the Bernie Sanders town hall yesterday, and Fox did not respond to you, is what you're saying. But the county next to you that did go for Hillary Clinton, they called and invited that chairperson.
Right, they emailed it and gave him before it even went public, they personally invited him. And he's a brand new chairman. He wasn't there when Trump ran. He's an unknown, but for some reason they searched him out and they did not include me, nor others on our committee, which we had hundreds of people apply, and they did not get in. But all the Republicans that went in, they were moderates from Lehigh County. That's who got in.
Tell people where Lehigh County is, because we've got several national viewers, but our biggest base is Georgia down here. which trust me, if you pay attention, the blue Democrats are trying to really drive a wedge in our state here. Don't you
Yes,
think they're not?
I've been watching that. We've been seeing that.
But
what's
tell us where Lehigh County is. Why you're making reference to them?
The Lehigh Valley, is an hour from New York and an hour from Philly. We're between New York and Philadelphia, and Northampton County is a blue collar, lower income, and we're closer to the New Jersey line. And Lehigh County is going towards Philly. It's one county over. We're a neighboring county, but it's going a little further south towards the Philly, what they call the ring counties, which is very moderate, moving very moderate. And that's where Fox took the participants from Lehigh County.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Let me switch gears. Before we get into what took place in the town hall. All right, well, first of all, we always say to you every time we have you on, congratulations to the Republican Party in Northampton County and all your help. I know you have so many great people that help and work with you in the party. You guys did an awesome job turning that county red for Donald Trump, and actually you're right up there for the reasons, your county, for the reasons Pennsylvania flipped, and two, the guy is President of the United States. That being said, that's a whole lot of pressure. Now it's time to retain it. So the win is over, and making it happen again. So tell us, you got some game plan laid out. How does it look, and what's the feel of the area that you're dealing with?
Okay, the Trumpers are just as energized as they always were. I have absolutely no problem turning the same people out we had before. So I feel good with the base. I have to expand, or I need to hold the independents and the working Democrats. They need to convince them, or we need to show them or educate them on how great the economy is and how America is better and how America is moving in the right direction. We need to keep a positive. If you notice, if anybody watched, the first thing Bernie Sanders did is try to point out a lot of negatives. He started back with all the people that are uninsured and all the people that are in poverty, and they want to paint the negative, and we need to do as much as we can to keep painting the positive. They want to scare people in to the socialism, to more government. But my base is as strong as ever. I need to keep the light Dems, and I need to keep the independents. Here's a significant thing I don't think that's been pointed out. When Bernie Sanders ran, remember they were saying he got as big as crowds as Trump, he got 22,000
right.
and this and that. There weren't any Bernie people outside. I mean, you had to get a ticket to get inside, but where was all those Democrats for Bernie? Where were the millennials for Bernie? Where were the buses for Bernie? There weren't people lined up outside to meet him, to try to get a photo. There was nothing outside for him.
So like a Trump rally, there was no overflow crowd.
No, there wasn't anyone. Like if you go to a Trump thing and you can't get in, people still go to get a glimpse of him or try to get a photo or meet him outside, or you know what I mean? There was nothing for Bernie. There was nothing outside.
Well, they
didn't organize one thing.
That's a very big valid point, and I appreciate you bringing that up, because we still have on the screen the picture of your rally yesterday. And again, not to be redundant, but I tell you what, folks, unless you have put on the winter coat and pulled the drawstring around your face and held the sign in a blistering wind, I just really got a lot of respect for those people that came out and did that yesterday.
The wind was so strong, it was ripping the signs right in half when you were holding them.
Actually, I got a couple pictures of the one guy that his signs all tore up. But I guess where I'm getting at is the point is there wasn't a single rally outside cheering Bernie on.
No, there weren't like a bunch of college students. I mean, you're right. It was like walking distance from Lehigh University.
Got it.
Walking distance from Lehigh University. Okay? No college students, no buses, no signs for Bernie, no banners for Bernie. I didn't even smell any pot being smoked. So there was nothing going on for Bernie.
Okay. All right. Okay, let me ask you something. Why does this, and I say this because I call, a fact is a fact. This is a 78-year-old Jew. He's from Brooklyn, okay? What's the appeal to this guy with young people? What do you think is the appeal with Bernie Sanders and young people and his his base, what's the appeal to this guy?
The appeal is the word free. He's a grandfather. He's going to give them everything for free. They're not going to have to work for it. And, so I think when, all he says is free healthcare and free education. And if you think about that, those are really big ticket items. Think about it. If you got free education and free healthcare, all you got to do is, what I mean? That's so much already paid for, and those kids can't resist it. Just the thought of it. But he was comparing it to public education, running it like public education. I don't know about in Georgia, but our public education in Pennsylvania is not very good. That's why people mop floors and kill themselves to send their kids to private school if you live in the Northeast, because the schools are no good here. All they are is union Democrats. That's all the schools are run with. So I wonder if they want to take over the medical industry to make it one more big union in America. So anyway, but we need to convince the millennials that, all the posh things they have in life. They live in these posh apartments with these huge, high-end amenities and drinking their Starbucks and carrying their iPad. None of that's going to be available to them in a socialist country. Socialist country doesn't have disposable income. They don't have the amenities Americans have. And I just think we need to educate the millennials. We haven't done a good job, explaining and educating to them this stuff isn't free. And if you want you want all these items, you got to have capitalism.
Well, I want to tell you, I agree. I agree. You got a couple more minutes because I got to ask you something else. I agree 100%. I couldn't agree more that Fox News. Now, I watch all the networks. I watch Morning Joe every morning at 6 a.m. I don't miss Muskrat Minka and Muskrat Joe. I watch CNN every morning at 4 a.m. I watch Fox every morning. I watch all the networks. And what I tell people is, they say, why do you watch Morning Joe? I watch Morning Joe because I'm keeping up with the enemy. I study the media. And this show here that I do is basically a study of the media every day and keeping up with the enemy and what they're doing. It's not because I enjoy it. So I tell people all the time, don't get messed up with Fox. Don't think Fox is on board. I tell them all the time, there's a couple shows, a couple people, but outside of that, the network in a whole. Let me tell you something. When you hire Donna Brazil, that stole worked for CNN, that gave the questions to Hillary Clinton, and that's just the beginning. When you hire somebody like that, whatever. Okay, who on the Democrat list concerns you? Now you're in with the state Republican committee. You know people, you know the circles, and you know who's being talked about. When it comes,
I tell you what, in Pennsylvania, it's Joe Biden, and I'll tell you why. He's acceptable. Okay, he's from Pennsylvania. Number one, that's concerning. He's from Scranton area.
Did you hear? Wait a minute. Did you hear he was up in Scranton like last week or whatever with a film crew?
Right, and do you know what? They've done polling in Pennsylvania, and the Democrats are going to be really smart. They don't care whichever Democrat can beat Trump, they're going to get behind. Now, they're not going to go with ideology. They're not going to get crazy for one or the other. They're going to go based on the polling of which one polls higher to beat Trump. And in PA, it's Joe Biden because he's acceptable. He's acceptable. He's not extremes. And in their opinion, he's not an extremist. He's mainstream. So I'm concerned about that in Pennsylvania. Overall, I'm not concerned about Joe Biden. But in Pennsylvania, I'm concerned about Joe Biden.
How about nationally? What candidates nationally? And it's a long way out. I think the first debate stage will start filtering these Democrats. But with all of them coming out and running, which ones are the ones that concern you the most nationally?
Gee, that's a tough one because there's so many right now. I don't know. I know that Bernie and Joe Biden have the best polling, but I don't. You always have to worry about the dark horse. Remember with Clinton, he was a dark horse. You know what I mean? He wasn't even ahead in the beginning.
I think he lost New Hampshire, right? The first.
Right. So I don't think it'll be Biden and Bernie. I think it's going to be someone else.
Well, I'm watching all the networks, especially MSNBC, all the networks, including Fox. and I call it the creation of a candidate, Pete Buttigieg, the South Bend,
Yeah, but
Indiana
the thing
mayor.
with Buttigieg is only because he's gay, because they believe in identity politics. We have to have a woman president. We have to have a black president. We have to have a gay president. Next, we'll have to have a dwarf. I mean,
We have to have what
where
next?
does it end? A dwarf.
Nah, you didn't say a dwarf. Oh, hell, you didn't say that's a,
Wait, identity politics is out of control.
I got to write down dwarf president.
Wait, he will serve a short term.
He will serve a short. What the hell? What?
Wait, and get little done?
He will serve a short and get a little done? That's,
yes.
Okay, all right. That's enough. Listen, I will say this, the joke that I make all the time.
But that's my joke for identity politics, because I'm sick of hearing we need a gay president, we need a woman president, we need a black president. No, we don't. We need a qualified merit president. And that's why I bring up the dwarf, to show how ridiculous it is.
Well, I keep saying, I keep saying Spartacus up there from New Jersey. What is his name? The senator from New Jersey.
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker.
Yes.
I keep saying, if all Cory has to do is come out, and say he's gay and get it over with, and he checks off. Look at all the check marks Cory's got. If he'll just come out and say he's gay, man, he's black.
Yeah,
gay.
One of our signs yesterday was "Stop Identity Politics," because it's all they want to do. They want to showcase everything. One of everything. Got to have a gay. Got to have a woman. Got to have a black. No, we don't. We just need someone who's qualified. That's what we need.
Well, obviously, you have to know your opponent. You got to, obviously, you got to know your opponent. So a lot of it right now is hurry up and wait. Do you guys hear anything from your committee there? Because you are an important county, and you guys got an important voting block there that has to happen again for the president. Do you guys hear anything from the national party? Is there anything coming down from the national party as far as any planning or any discussions or anything?
I know they're spending a great deal of time planning. They really are, and they were actually involved yesterday. The state party was helping me. They were helping me get the word out, and they were helping me with the press. And so I know that they're working closely with Trump, and they're going to be heavily involved. Now, my concern is Pennsylvania hasn't been winning recently. On the statewide level, we have a little bit of never-Trumpers in the state party that kind of keep disrupting our movement, and we're spending a lot of time pushing them back. So we have a little bit of our own division in the Republican Party, and when you're in the Northeast, you do have never-Trumpers. They don't go away, and they tend to have money and they have power, and they come out of Philadelphia. So we spend a lot of time pushing them back, but I know that they're working closely with Trump, and Trump is doing everything he can to win the state. I sometimes wonder, though, if Trump doesn't know who exactly in Pennsylvania are the right people he can trust. I don't know who has his ear, and that very much concerns me, that he doesn't know who the right people are on the ground. And I wouldn't want him to get hoodwinked.
He actually was as much a liberal and a Democrat as the congresswoman you have now. You lost Charlie Dent, and your district went blue with a Democrat. Do you stand any chance? Do you have a candidate ready for 2020 to go up against the Democrat in your district for Congress?
I don't have anyone at this time, but everyone is running, and I think that's a mistake. There's already been, I know like 6-7 people are running for that spot in the Republican Party. And out of that 6 or 7, I really don't even think the right candidate's in that group. I think it has to be, in my opinion, it has to be a really good candidate to beat this woman. Now, she was just recently elected, and the first term is the best time to take them out. She's not really qualified. She wasn't that great a candidate. It was the money. She just had so much money she couldn't even spend it all at the end. But we don't have the right candidate yet. We're working on it, but we don't have the right person yet.
No, well, the reason I brought that up, and our viewers, you may not know out there, this district in the, what district is Pennsylvania House District? What district are you in?
We're the 7th now.
7th District. But,
yeah.
And those out there that don't know that Charlie Dent, the Republican, which again was really a Democrat. They lost that district, and the reason I bring that up, Lee, is because the simple reason is I feel it's just as strong to have that candidate, so when you go vote for president, you don't have to split that vote. And that's that.
Right.
And that's why I brought that up, is hopefully you had a candidate that would be on there, and there would be no vote splitting, and it would be, you know, a little more power there.
Well, my problem is Charlie Dent is still around, and he's really working against us. He's keeping the Republican Party locally divided. He's keeping, you know, all the never-Trumpers and moderates, you know, funded, and he's really, you know, pushes against Trump and pushes against any Republican that supports Trump. So it's, you know, I have a lot of power in the Lehigh Valley against our candidate. So that's a problem. I mean, you know, word is he was supporting the Democrat, and he was on the phone with her all the time. So, you know, it's hard in this area because the Republicans and Democrats, there's not much difference.
Okay, the last thing, and I can't thank you enough, but I do want you to share something with our viewers that they need to hear from you, that they hear from me, but they need to hear from someone else on the ground. In Georgia, in 2016, and this I tell people, in 2016, Georgia, we lost 11 state races. The Republican Party in the state of Georgia lost 11 seats in the House, okay? And we're I forget how many seats away from losing our majority in Georgia. And I'm serious, they are working hard, Democrats in our state. Now, one thing that our politicians tell the voters is, hey, you do not want them to have the House in 2020 when it comes to redistricting. Tell our viewers what happened in Pennsylvania briefly, but how big a detriment to redistricting and how that really happens and it changes things.
Oh, it's horrible, and you have to do everything you can to maintain your state house, your state senate, and your court system, because the Democrats are going into states and finding a loophole and finding a way to disrupt the redistricting. They actually took control of our Pennsylvania courts, and the maps that our Republicans drew, they had thrown out, and they took the power, and the courts drew. The Democrats on the court, the court of Pennsylvania, the state court, the state Supreme Court redrew the maps themselves, which is illegal in our Constitution. And there was no one to challenge them because there was no higher court. And the U.S. Supreme Court did not take the case. So our maps were redrawn by Democrats, even though we had Republican power. They are doing this everywhere. They're going into Colorado. They're going into Texas. They did it in North Carolina. They have this group, and they're not going to let you know about it and know who they are. They're going into the state and finding a way to redraw your map and then make it hold up in your court. And then the U.S. Supreme Court's not taking the case. Be very careful. Do not be complacent, Georgia. Do not be complacent. Do not assume you'll always be Republican. You have to be out there working all the time to make sure they don't infiltrate your area. You need to make sure you maintain your state house and your court system. It's a horrible outcome if you let them take control.
Hey, thanks a lot, because I'm going to tell you, if you're here, you're going to hear that all the time, and people, I know a couple people that are sounding the alarm across the state, saying, people, you better make sure we stay Republican in Georgia. Look, thank you very much.
And they took North Carolina, and now they're after South Carolina. I'm getting a lot of reports South Carolina's turning. They're infiltrating South Carolina. They're infiltrating Texas. They act innocent, and they're almost like people that freaking go around and witness. They're turning people and turning people and turning people, and making them. It's okay not to be Republican in a strong Republican area. So you don't be complacent, Georgia. Be vigilant.
Well, they come in, and they come in under the guise that they're for transparency in government, and everybody's vote counts.
Right. They're not going to tell you I'm a Democrat from Soros. No, they're going to come down, and they have slogans. Okay, it's going to be like Georgia for all.
Yes,
Georgia for the people. Georgia for the people.
I got it, man.
Save Georgia. Georgia for better government. Watch those
Georgia
innocent
for better
slogans.
government. I'm got it. Georgia for the people. I met these people. I get it. You're 100% right. That's their
Be
campaign.
careful. Those are the slogans they use, and Republicans follow right behind them,
Yes,
thinking
and
that's a good thing.
sounding like it's a transparent committee.
You
Look,
need to get all the Republican Party in Georgia to sound the alarm, all the way up to your state party.
all right, well, thanks for weathering the storm yesterday, and we're going to be talking to you a lot as the election comes up because we know you guys got a big job. And I want to give a shout out to your entire group because I know you have an entire group there that works so hard behind you there, and you guys are doing a great job. And you know, not too much pressure, but we got to win another one. All right.
I know. We're on it. All right, Trump 2020. Goodbye.
All right. Have a nice day. Okay, folks, we're going to take a break. We'll come back, break that down a little bit, and then I'll be a little transparent when we come back. How about that? I'll be transparent. Let's take a break, Josh.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Truck Month is back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. America's favorite trucks at the North Georgia Mountains' lowest prices. Now save up to $13,000 off new 2019 Silverado Crew Cabs, or save over $7,800 off new 2019 Chevy Colorado. Nobody's got a bigger truck selection, and nobody's got bigger discounts than Days Chevrolet in Jasper, the North Georgia Mountains' #1 volume Chevy dealer.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
8 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you were with us in the last half hour, we're going to, first of all, Josh, tell people how to get in touch with us there. 706-889-9700, chief@fetchernews.com. And there is the social media ways that you can follow the show. Let me just say, first of all, I want to, if you're just joining us, our last guest, Lee Snover, she is the chairman of the Northampton County, Pennsylvania Republican Party. Now, Northampton County She turned out the Northampton County, I don't know, I think they turned out like in that county alone. The Lehigh Valley, which is Northampton County, Lehigh County, it's considered Easton, Bethlehem, Allentown, ABE. Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, Pennsylvania through there, just north of Philadelphia and just west of New York City. It's over 1 million people, the whole valley, with the Lehigh Valley is over 1 million people. And I think they turned out, I'm just off the top of my head, they turned out 93,000 Republican votes. Now, this is just from memory in her county alone that she had to turn out for Trump. And that county has not turned out for a Republican for a long time, all right? I know it went both times it went Obama in the election, that county did. But anyhow, they turned it out for Trump, and Bernie Sanders held a Fox News town hall in Bethlehem, right in the center of the county yesterday. You heard first account on that interview what Fox did as far as them being outside as supporters, okay, in that blustery wind and cold and rain yesterday, 130 non-paid supporters. Remember that. There's a couple takeaways, okay, that I liked listening to here. Let's put up number 19. These are not paid. Go from 19 and then 23. These are people that did not get an email from Soros. These are people that did not, have manufactured signs. These are people that are not getting paid $50 to stand there for an hour. Okay, this is his sign tore up. Northampton County still loves Trump. As you can see, the wind. This guy and his, and then hit number 23 out there, and there's the group also. And go ahead, this concrete company, number 22, that's over a $200,000 truck, and he had it painted brand new, Make America Great Again. And as she said, the town hall yesterday, there was no big support outside. There was no overflow crowd. Fox did not say Bernie Sanders is here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, steel country, old Union country, working man country, and there's 2,000 people outside that could not get in tonight that want to cheer on Bernie Sanders. It wasn't there. You heard that here. You won't hear that. Also, the concern in Pennsylvania, Joe Biden, and trying to win back. So that's a couple things. And transparency. Transparency, that's my sister. Should I say that? Like, should I? But I don't know. Maybe I should let you know. Yes, we've been in politics for our whole lives, man. So, Lee, that's my sister. Good job to you guys. And the making of a candidate. Oh, my God, when she said identity politics and identity candidates, and she said next we're going to have a dwarf. Oh, my gosh, I thought, really? A dwarf next. One more thing, and because we got a lot to do before we wrap up this morning, I want to go back just to, let's go back. Well, first of all, here is just a glimpse. I like to throw this up, number 4. Here is a glimpse of the MSNBC morning lying lineup. They're lined up right here every morning to lie to you, to paint a narrative, to sell you something. They could just go in and arrest all of them. Boom, put them all in jail, clean up the streets. So number 3 here, okay. Now, we talked about this, and I know what you're going to say. Don't beat this drum again. Would you shut up? But look at the breaking news headline. Notre Dame fire believed to be linked to major renovation project. They have already, now we brought this to you, they have already sold every single possible thing they can to you as done. This arson investigation, there is none. It's over. Okay? Now, you're going to hear a lot coming out. We played the video of Neil Cavuto hanging up on, Neil Cavuto hung up on the president of the Catholic League, Bill Donahue. He hung up on him. Conjectures. He started saying 17th century church. Look up 17th century church vandalized or attacked in France. Look up 12 churches in one day vandalized in France. Start looking that up. These are stories, go back and we'll do it again, but Bill Donahue, we played that where he hung up on him. Neil Cavuto, no conjectures here. They're not conjectures, Neil. Good journalists would start asking, how do you close an arson investigation? A good journalist would go to Macron and say at a press conference, where's the press conference? Are you saying there'll be no arson investigation? Are you saying you've already bypassed that step and you're just going to go to clearing anybody and everybody of any wrongdoing? Maybe the Catholic Church likes the fact that it's an accident for insurance money. Maybe insurance doesn't pay on terrorism. I don't know. And then we have Philippe, elected official Philippe Crescente. No speculations on my show, buddy. That was Shepard Smith. Now, we got a note from Facebook. I'm going to read it, okay? Got a note on Facebook. Carol says on Facebook, from what I've read, the cathedral was still burning when they determined it was an arson or a terrorist attack. I agree, that's what I have. Yet, there's a video of someone in Arabic garb standing where no one should have been, an approximate location of where the fire started. I know of 2 other times they have tried to bomb Notre Dame. I wonder how many other attacks have been swept under the rug, and was this a successful attack? That's from Carol on Facebook. I'm just saying, folks. Just saying. Look up Breitbart, 12 French churches attacked, vandalized in 1 week. Okay? There's several articles there concerning the churches being attacked. So, what say you? What do you think? Now, we await the Mueller report. So I'm going to take, I had my interview with Lee Snover, the chairman of Northampton County, Pennsylvania Republican Party, was overextended, went a little long. I wanted to make a couple more comments on this fire, Notre Dame. I do not want to get wound up on Holy Week because I'm angry. Let me just say this. I will say this. Go to number 4. When you are listening, okay, when you are listening to these kind of people discuss Holy Week in the morning with you and what it means, really, I can get angry, all right? So coincidence, Notre Dame is burned on a Monday. This is the week of the trial. Palm Sunday, Jesus rode into Jerusalem this past Sunday. It burns on this week, Good Friday. Really? So I'm your host, BKP. We'll take a brief break and let's talk about that Mueller report that's coming out Thursday. That'll be some great Easter weekend reading, right? Take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
Truck Month is back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. America's favorite trucks at the North Georgia Mountains lowest prices. Now save up to $13,000 off new 2019 Silverado Crew Cabs, or save over $7,800 off new 2019 Chevy Colorado. Nobody's got a bigger truck selection, and nobody's got bigger discounts than Days Chevrolet in Jasper, the North Georgia Mountains #1 volume Chevy dealer.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, I'm your host BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. The media absolutely loves all this tax return release stuff, man. They love it because it's interesting. Beto O'Rourke, he has released his tax returns. And the Bernie Sanders released his tax returns. Now, Bernie yesterday had to deal with the fact that he is a millionaire, and he's had to switch up from attacking millionaires and billionaires to just billionaires. Go to number 16 there. You're going to pay more taxes. I do not understand. I say it jokingly, okay? I do not know why these kids want an old 78-year-old Jew to yell at them, but I guess they enjoy that. But Bernie Sanders had a real problem with the fact that with answering, he really choked up there on answering. Was he not the recipient of the Trump tax cuts? His percentage, instead of paying 35, I think he paid 26 or 22%, whatever that may be. But that really angered him that he had to admit that. And the other thing I really enjoyed that angered him is he didn't want to apologize. He does not want to apologize for writing a book and somebody buying it. He did everything but he identified capitalism, but he did everything but call it capitalism. And what was interesting and funny, what was really humorous, was that I think it was Brett Baer said, well, wait a minute, you wrote a book and it was for sale and people chose to purchase the book and you got money and you did well with it. Is that not capitalism? And that just froze him. But anyhow, Don't you find it interesting that Bernie's released his tax returns, Beto O'Rourke's released his tax returns? Let me tell you what I find, and you will find this too. Now, I'm not going to say Donald Trump's charitable, okay? I'm not going to tell you that Donald Trump is charitable, but you find a big difference on tax return releases on who's charitable. This guy is not charitable at all. Now, this guy right here, their front runner, he could talk about veterans land. We should not, as rich a nation as we should not have one veteran sleeping in the streets, one homeless vet. We should never have that. Go look at his charitable giving. Bernie does very little. There's some reminders you have to think about when you think of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders does very, very little, okay, in a charitable way in all the causes that he does this for. He does that, okay? Very, very little charitable causes does he actually give to. Second, okay, I think off the top of my head, he has been in Congress or he has been in Washington, D.C. for 28 years. I'm just doing that by memory, 28 years. Where are his bills? Where is all the times that they had the Senate? Remember all these things he wanted. They've had the Senate. He's going to say, well, I was one senator out of 100. But they've had the Senate. They've had the House. Where are all of these great things that Bernie Sanders is preaching to the young people now throughout the 28 years? Think about what he's really done to try to accomplish, if that's the word you could use, his agenda in the Senate. And he's really going to go to the White House and accomplish that. Okay, he's a rich old Jew, and he's doing nothing but raking up his money from these people out here, and he's living off you. Bernie Sanders is it quintessential? He is the guy, he is the poster child of living off of you and the government. Yes, sir, he is the best socialist out there to preach that because he's been living off the government. He's never had a real job in his life. Beto O'Rourke released his tax returns. Big deal, right? Big deal. One more thing here. I know we're getting close to running out of time. Trump slams Omar again. She's got a way about her that is very, very bad for our country. Their heads are spinning off, okay, because that she is, the president keeps saying she's very, very bad. President Trump took aim once again at Representative Omar, Democrat from Minnesota, on Monday, accusing the first-term Muslim lawmaker of being disrespectful to the United States. In an interview with a local news affiliate KSTP in Minnesota, okay, that's where she's from, the president said that Omar has got a way about her that's very, very bad for our country. She's been very disrespectful to our country. She's been very disrespectful, frankly, to Israel. She is somebody that doesn't really understand life, real life, what it's all about, he told the reporter. She got a way about her that's very, very bad for this country. And their heads are spinning off again today as you look that up. Now, let's go to, all right, number 5. I'm sorry, number 5, okay? Congressman sets April 23rd deadline for Trump's tax return. So they moved the date, the Ways and Means Committee moved the date from the IRS to April 23rd. You've got to April 23rd. Then they're going to have to start a subpoena. Now, they know they're going to have to subpoena, and it's going to be a long court battle. And the President of the United States is not going to give up his tax returns. All right? So Beto O'Rourke gave his tax returns. Bernie gave his tax returns. Hell, just keep bragging and opening up your tax returns. Trump doesn't want to show the billions of dollars, and he doesn't want to expose his family. I mean, you do realize, no matter how you think about it and if it angers you or not, hey, if and when he wins another term, if he does that, okay, the bottom line is he will be out of office in 6 years. And the show must go on. The business must go on. It's not fair to Ivanka, Eric, or Donald Jr., whether you like it or not. It's not fair to the organization, the people that work there. I mean, he's the only one in the race that has a major business worth billions of dollars, okay, that should not be exposed to the detriment of his family. There's only one reason they want to do this, is they're trying to bring this man down, and they think they can find that one thing where he made one loan, that the T wasn't crossed, the I wasn't dotted, and they can say, we got you now. Okay? Look at number 6. They're not just going after the tax returns. They've already subpoenaed. Deutsche Bank is subpoenaed for Trump's records by House Democrats. I think Trump has done, if the numbers are correct, somewhere around $2 billion worth of loans with Deutsche Bank is subpoenaed for Trump records by House Democrats. They want to go through his bank statements, all right? And while we're on that note of the bank statements, and while we're on that note of bank statements, let's play this. Do you ever look at some things and wonder about the ignorance, just the total ignorance of who gets elected to Congress? You know, you don't want to gloss over AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You don't want to gloss over her. You don't want to gloss over Omar and miss this guy here in this video, when you just stop and think, really, these are people in our Congress that are on committees that get to ask questions. You wonder what these guys think going home, or what they think at their next meal when they're laughing their asses off. Play that video, Josh.
As I look at the panel, and I'm grateful for your attendance, the eye would perceive that the 7 of you have something in common. You appear to be white men. I may be mistaken. If one among you happens to be something other than a white male, would you kindly extend a hand into the air? Kindly let the record reflect that there are no hands in the air and that the panel is made up of white men. This is not a pejorative. You've all sermonized to a certain extent about diversity. If you believe that your likely successor will be a woman or a person of color, would you kindly extend a hand into the air? Let the record reflect. For fear that you may not hear me, just raise your hand now so that I'll know you're there. Raise your hand, please. All of you, sir, apparently you don't hear me over on the end. Would you kindly extend a hand into the air if you can hear me? Next to the gentleman that raised his hand, would you extend a hand, please? With the glasses, perhaps I should call your name. Mr. Sharp, would you? Thank you. I know it's difficult to go on the record sometimes, but the record has to be made. All white men, and none of you, not one, appears to believe that your successor will be a female or a person of color. Is your bank likely to have a female or person of color within the next decade? Kindly extend a hand into the air. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Without giving the commentary that I would dearly like to give, I'll move on. You know, I'm sitting next to a reverend, and I've heard him say that he'd rather see a sermon than hear a sermon. Let us have an opportunity to see a sermon when you return. Next question has to do with something near and dear to my heart. My ancestors were slaves. In 2005, is it true that J.P. Morgan released information directly indicating that it directly benefited from slavery. Would the representative from J.P. Morgan respond?
I do believe that in 2005 we made a report about potential transactions that involved slavery between J.P. Morgan or its heritage companies back in the 1800s.
In fact, there was an indication, I believe, that you accepted loans against slaves as collateral. True?
I believe that to be true, yes.
For edification purposes, have any of the other banks compiled a study as to whether or not you have benefited from slavery? If so, raise your hand, please. Let the record reflect that none have raised a hand. Not one has raised a hand. Do you believe?
Seriously, folks, absolutely, I'm serious, right? If I would have just told you about that story, if I would have just talked about that story, if I would have just said representative from Texas, in fact, Houston, Al Green, and told you what happened, you would not believe it. I see 7 white men. Really? 7 white men, okay? Now this is the Banking Regulations Committee, all right? All right, Banking Regulations Committee. And I'm going to tell you, this is the Regulations Committee that concerns your local banker on whether you get a loan or not, on how deep these regulations are for the banking industry. When you think about needing to reelect the Republicans and give them the power back, this is what you ought to show people, okay? What I see is 7 white men. Really? I guess this morning you see 1 white guy in the room. I see 7 white men that won't raise their hand, saying that they're the next in line, they're heir apparent. The next person in charge will be a woman or a person of color. How many of you benefited from slavery? J.P. Morgan, that was Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon is the chairman and CEO of J.P. Morgan, the largest of the big 4 banks, and previously served on the board of directors of the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. I wonder what he thinks when he has to sit there and listen to this. Slavery as collateral. Slaves as collateral. Did you make loans? Did you benefit? So reparations, obviously, because the big banks, we've got to bust, we've got to take their money. Got to take the big banks' money, got to give it out, got to give reparations. That's exactly where they went with that yesterday. But I like to play those sometimes just to say, are these people for real? All right? Sorry, I just got to do it. And, all right, so number 7. Mueller report on Russia and Trump to be made public Thursday. Okay, Thursday. Number 9, that's MSNBC this morning. Number 9, White House doesn't think report will change public opinion. Source, White House is keeping hands off, letting Barr lead redaction process. Now, I do this all the time. This is at 4:10 a.m. this morning. And I do this all the time, and I tell you to break down the words, watch the sentences they put out. So if you're just reading this, okay, and you're reading this, and it says, letting Barr lead redaction process. Now, if you don't know the redaction process, then you're thinking, okay, the White House can redact and hide things, but they're letting Barr hide things from you. That's what they're trying to put out. Now, they're going to put out Thursday what Barr hid from you. And you've got to remember what Barr said in his testimony. Okay? And even look back at somebody to confirm it. And it's this simple, folks. You have the Mueller report here. Sorry about that, touching the mic. You have the Mueller report here. And you have someone with the Department of Justice, and you have someone on Robert Mueller's team, side by side. And the one person is checking off, color coding, okay? And it's handed over to the next person, and they're doing it together, side by side. They're going to color code in 4 different colors why they're making the redactions, whether it's grand jury testimony, whatever it may be, why, top secret, right? Secret stuff, secret squirrel kind of stuff that they can't release, whatever, okay? They're going to color code it. Then when they color code it, whatever page it is, they're going to write a summary explaining why it's color coded. Or they're going to make notes letting you know what the area is. And it's being done with the special counsel. But you have CNN, and you have them, all right, saying that, hey, Barr can't be trusted. Let's go to number 10, all right? See, the tag is still Russian investigation. Russian investigation. Redacted, now watch and listen to this. Listen to this. Redacted Mueller report due Thursday. Washington waits on edge for Attorney General Barr's edited version of report. Now, they will write that, but as I'm watching, you need to know they never say, they never explain. Right here, you are led to believe, and if you're listening to CNN at 4:10 a.m. this morning, they lead you to believe that Barr is doing this all by himself, and when it comes out, if you feel there's a cover-up, it's Bob Barr. Now, you remember the Democrats' hero was Robert Mueller. Remember that? We got to let him finish his work. We got to see the report. But now they will not tag, they will not say Washington waits on edge for Attorney General Barr and Special Counsel Robert Mueller's edited version of the report. Because you realize when the report comes out Thursday, it will be as equally, because they're side by side, it will be as equally the redacted report from Special Counsel Robert Mueller that he's releasing. When this report's released, the Department of Justice and the Special Counsel are releasing it together, no matter how they try to spin it. Okay? I want to read this real quick. Number 18. Something we want to keep an eye on. I know this week we're going to be going into the holiday and going into Easter. Okay. Remember in May or early June, late May or early June, we're expecting the Inspector General's. We're expecting the Inspector General's Horowitz's report on the FISA warrants. This is Solomon. Look it up. What he says: probes will show Comey's incompetence. Okay, just how incompetent the American people are getting to find out. Don't forget the Inspector General's investigation. Also on that note, let's look at number 17. Bill de Blasio, the mayor of New York, all right? Trump's sanctuary city plan, they are ready to sue. What was there, 11 mayors across the country that sent the president a letter, or I think, I'm just saying this off the top of my head, I don't have it over. They're ready to sue over Trump's idea of putting the illegal asylum seekers in their sanctuary cities? I mean, he's just saying, hey, if we catch or release them, they're going to find their way to your city anyway, right? And that's why you got a sanctuary city, so they'll be safe there. De Blasio, it's interesting how De Blasio and these other mayors and the left are blowing up because they don't want them in their backyard. That's the way that, hey, don't do it in my backyard. CNN, Fox, all of them. Let's go to number 14. Just want to show you here, number 14. This is from Fox News. He was on CNN. William Weld to compete with Trump for Republican nod 2020 challenge. William Weld was the whack job. It's interesting, the news cycle, what they will do. He's to compete with Trump. Really? William Weld is a complete and total whack job. He was, remember Aleppo, Gary Johnson? Remember Gary Johnson and his Aleppo moment? Gary Johnson, okay? Gary Johnson was the candidate for the Libertarian Party, right? Johnson was candidate for the Libertarian Party, and Gary Johnson and William Weld was his vice presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. This guy's a total nut job. I think he was two-time governor of Massachusetts under a Republican. He ran as Republican. He's nothing. There is no Republican about him. But watch, the media is giving him time. All right. This guy, if polling was done, this guy is not getting 0.1% of a vote, but the media is giving him time. Let's go back to the polling of 2020. This is what Fox put out this morning. Number 15. There you go, is 2020 Dem presidential preference. They still have Biden at 31.2. Now, Biden has pushed his announcement back every time the news cycle runs. He pushes his announcement back. I think it's now May. I'm not for sure. But if he gets in, he's still holding. He's not even a candidate at 31.2. Sanders is the front runner. Whether people want to respect that in the Democrat Party, whether the media wants to see that, they need to acknowledge this guy is the front runner, okay? And Buttigieg, according to this Real Clear Politics average, from March 17th to April 14th. Now, we know he's surging, but these are the candidates out there. Look at the difference. The two top, okay, hold over 50% of right now. And the thing is watch when Joe Biden, if he announces, the one thing you want to watch for also, if he announces he is not running, okay, if he makes a decision he is not running, watch where that 31% goes. And that's what they're all waiting for, is the hope that Joe says no, and that 31%, disperses. Because Joe's not in there, they take Joe out of the polling, and it disperses. Watch where it goes, okay? Because there's a reason why there's a difference in picking Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders at the top, okay? There's a difference in their voters. So if Joe Biden was to say, hey, I'm not going to run, the 31.2% I think would get dispersed along other lines, not Bernie Sanders, but I don't know. Let's go to number 12 before we close. Notre Dame, the symbol of Paris, burns. Fire consumes 850-year-old Gothic cathedral in the heart of the city, but right there in the center, in the absolute center of Notre Dame, is the cross with the light off it. So let me just say this before I close. You will hear a total week of these hypocrites. Total hypocrites. Let me just say this. Bernie Sanders, Democrats, Catholics say it's a woman's decision is their answer. It's why they won't stand up for life. And they support abortion all the way to the time of birth and even after in some cases. All of these, Joe Scarborough, Minka Brzezinski, all of these left-leaning liberals support abortion until the time of birth. Just maybe curtail watching all of these now disgusting, absolutely disgusting Holy Week observers and talk about their faith. Really? I'm your host, BKP. I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow morning. It'll be Wednesday morning. I'll be right back here, 8 a.m. Take us out of here, Josh.